Maybe you want me to do the towel, huh?
It wasn't
Sorry. Yeah, he's like, use the towel. All right.
Seeing the defense start to kind of pick it up, make some plays on I know you want to be perfect out there, but is it nice to see your defense is coming alive and making plays?
Yes, yes. The more difficult it is for us on offense, with the kind of weapons that we have and the talent that we have, that they can make it, it's just going to help our team. So, like there was one today, and I went over to Khalil and I said, so-and-so is going to be a good player. He said, yeah, I know. And he was standing right there by us, and I was like, it's good for the Raiders, but I'm not going to tell you yet, But it's one of the younger guys. But it's just like, as him and I see our team grow and the competition, they'll get us on a couple, and we come right back and get them on a couple. I mean, when it's that even, those are really good things. Now it leaves the coaches headaches, but us as players, it shows us that we're going to have a good football team.
I know he's on the other side of the ball, but during pre-camp and even now during training camp, Borders, number 31, has he shown you anything as an undrafted rookie that could make some mark?
You know what? Every time I turn the film on, it's like he makes a play, and I think that's how those guys catch your eye. When you're an undrafted guy, it's hard, because obviously you're not going to have the first or second team reps all the time, obviously, and all that you can see is like, man, it turns into, who's 31, kind of a thing. And then throughout the offseason, here at camp, he's really proven himself. So the more guys that we can have like that make plays, I'm all for it.
Derek, it's pretty apparent since the beginning of the first practice how healthy your ankle is and how good you are to go. Noticed a lot of times, a couple times today, you had rolls to the opposite side where you threw strikes. You're taking off and running when you see it.
Yeah.
I know that's not going to be ever a huge part of your game, but how much do you want to integrate that a little bit to be able to help break down defenses?
Yes, I want to be able to put stress on people, not only from the pocket. Obviously we've been able to do that for 3 years, but if I can break contain, if I can see, it makes it easier this year because the game's slower. Every year the game gets slower. I know where the coverage is. I know what route beats that coverage. And as soon as I see it, if it's not there, then I can make something happen with my feet. So I'm never going to do it too much, obviously, you guys know that. But the facts that when those coverages play out that way, and I can move around and extend plays. There was one we hit KJ on the back line, and that wasn't intended for him. But we were able to escape outside and break contain, and then he stayed on the move. So those guys are also learning that, hey, oh wow, Derek's gonna move a little bit. We can get out there with him and work with him. So it's something that really puts a lot of stress because they covered that play really well. But then at the end of the day, we were able to hit one.
But you got the stiff arm away for good, though.
The stiff arm needs to go away. Yes. We don't need any more hand things. Yeah.
Speaking of hitting, though, how fine is that line, now that you guys have the pads on, between getting these guys ready in football shape, the hitting,
yes,
but taking care of each other as well? Because you look across, there's a lot of big names that are already going down in training camps across the league.
Yes, there is a fine line. I still feel you need to feel it a little bit for a team. I told Bruce today, I said, hey, man, we were doing like a one-on-one pass rush drill. I said, if you get to me, man, I don't mind if you grab me. Obviously coaches will get mad at you, but I won't, because you need that, as a football player. So I hope it never goes away, to be honest. But also to watch these guys, how athletic they are to run full speed and then stop a yard short before they hit a guy. I mean, I think that's harder almost, than to hit the guy. You finish the play. But it trains those guys, trains their legs, trains their minds to take care of each other at practice. And that's when the game comes, all that goes out the window. You're able to fly through those tackles. So, oh, you okay?
No, don't worry.
No, you're good. All right. Yeah, but yes.
Marshawn just ran by and snatched a kid's Skittles good-naturedly. And,
yes.
And, people love him around here. It's obvious every time he touches the ball. And how much fun is it to see what he's doing for this fan base and complimenting everything you guys already have?
Yes, it makes, obviously, with how the last couple of years have gone, our fans are what I've seen are just so loyal, so awesome. And then when you add a hometown guy, someone that loves the community, and he really embraces the city of Oakland. And, so adding someone like that out here to an already loyal, excited fan base, you can obviously tell that, they're loyal and excited for him as well. So just having him around, not only as the player, obviously we can all see that, but just what he brings for the city of Oakland, it's a really cool thing to see.
You talked about KJ Brent earlier, and he's a guy with Coop out getting some run with the ones. What do you see out of him as a guy that's in his second camp?
Yes, he is a guy that, he has to do the dirty work, and he knows that. He's got to go in there, do the dirty work. He's got to go in there, and, hey, if Coop goes down, I got to step up now, and I got to be the X receiver, for an explosive offense, and he, as you can see, he's doing a really good job of that. Now, he has a few, like we all do, where you're like, I wish I had that one back. But that's what camp's for, So just being able to see his growth from last year until this year, it's really exciting to see that he took last year as a time to get to know the offense. He didn't take it as I'm just going out to be the scout team receiver, or I'm just going out to go through the motions. He worked his tail off to learn, and you can tell when he goes in, now he can go in with the ones and get reps, which is it's a testament to his work ethic, and as long as he can continue to make those tough catches, because he'll tell you he's not a 4-3 guy. He's got to make those contested grabs, and he's done a great job of that so far.
What excites you about this year's tight end group?
Oh man, well obviously last year I loved Clive and our guys, Michael and Lee, for what obviously we all love Lee, for what he can do. But when you add a guy like Jared Cook that runs a 4-3 or a 4-4, and he can outrun DBs on go routes, that's why you see we can throw him out wide and run different kind of routes with him. We can do that kind of stuff because he's that talented. So all it did was make it better. It took a good group that made a lot of big plays for us in big games and makes it better. And that's what it's about.
Do you think that he's going to change the way that you guys are covered because he's a threat in the middle of the field? That's something that's going to have to be accounted for?
If it should, but if it doesn't, he should catch a lot of footballs.
Okay. Derek, you and Todd, even before he got the promotion, you guys were pretty close.
Yes.
And you kind of know what he wants. He knows what you can do. Does that relationship in any way lead you to getting more freedom at the line of scrimmage? Not so much checking in and out, but maybe calling your own plays.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Just to make it easy for you, absolutely it does. Yes.
And how comforting is it for you to know that you have that freedom, and again that you know what he's thinking, kind of what he wants type of deal?
Yes, and it is very comforting. It's also it's a lot to put on a quarterback, but he knows me and he knows that's how I like to play, kind of a deal. And as long as I'm thinking this exact same way he's thinking, and that's what we're trying to do here at campus and all of OTAs and minicamp, was I just want to think what you think, so when I'm out on the field, I see exactly what you see, and I can actually do it and change it while we're out there. So, we've had discussions where we finish each other's sentences like, hey, if you see this, hey, I'm going to go to this. He's like, exactly, so as long as we can continue to grow that way, and over the years, obviously it'll get better and better, but for the short time of him now being the OC, I'd say it's pretty darn good because of our relationship where it started.
Without divulging anything, can we assume you've been in contact still with Donald Penn?
Yes.
I know Cordero Patterson seems to work closely with the second team. What have you seen from him since his transition since he's arrived?
Oh man, it looks like he's having fun. It looks like he's having a good time. There's a lot of guys on our team. Whenever we get them, I always ask like, how did someone else let him go? Like that size, that speed. He's like a horse out there, man. He's 220, 225 running a 4.3. And it's like those don't just come around all the time. So being able to get him in our offense and implement him, and not just use him as a gadget guy, but use him as a receiver. He was a first-round pick for a reason, and being able to see his talents on display has been really, really encouraging for us, because obviously you lose a guy like Andre Holmes and someone that can do that kind of stuff at that size, and you get a guy like Cordero that can kind of do those same things and also can carry the ball, can kick return and those things. It really helps our football team.
Derek, can you speak to DeAndre and Jalen, Marshawn coming here, such a big name? Have they deferred to him right away, or have they kind of picked up where they left off at the last season?
You know what? That's a good question. It'd probably be better for them personality-wise. I'm not sure in their meeting room and that kind of stuff. But everyone on this football team has a role, and the coaches make it very clear, what our role is. And so, I know my role. Those running backs, they know their role. And what the cool thing about this is not only does our team know what our role is, we embrace it. So when we hit that season, there's going to be guys on the practice squad, and they're going to sit there and they're going to embrace that role. and they're going to make our team better. Same thing with the running backs. You know, coach will tell them, hey, this is what I need you to do. Jalen, this is what I need you to do this week. DeAndre, this is what I need you to do this week. And guess what? All of you also have to be ready to be the guy through and throughout, you know, because we know how this league is on running backs. You know, it's very physical and all those things. They got to be ready at any moment.
A couple more for Derek.
Derek, you have Fresno and Bakersfield here today. Can you talk about your jersey retirement in about a month?
Oh, yeah. So, obviously, I tried to say as much as I could in the 60 seconds you get on Instagram. But I've dreamed of that since I was a little kid. I said every time I walk down that ramp for a practice, a game, a lift, a run at 6 a.m., thanks a lot, Coach Bose. You know, I would look up and I'd see car number 8, and it was motivating every single day that I'm going to get my name up there. And it was a reminder. I can remember times in some of the hardest games where I would look up and I'd see it, and it was just a reminder of how hard I needed to go in that game. You know, it was just little things like that. And it sounds silly maybe to some people, but I wanted to leave my imprint, you know, on that community and on that school. So the fact that they called and they want to do that, dream come true. It was one of my top goals. I have a lot of goals, but I have a lot of there's only very few at the top that I wanted to reach, and on the way for my football career, that was one of them. So it really is a humbling thing. I was very emotional when they told me. I was like, what? Like, I didn't think they did that till I was like 40 years old, you know? Like, so I was like, sweet, you know, I'll take it.
You dreamt to be a Raider. You're a Raider. You dreamt to have your number retired.
Yeah.
You're going to get retired. On that list of goals, you're knocking them out pretty good here.
Yeah.
What are some of the big ones remaining?
Win a Super Bowl, and not just one, but multiple. And that's not just for me. That is for our city. That's for our fans. That's for my teammates, these coaches, all of us that are away from our families in this silly little hotel, you know, for weeks on end. The hours that we put in. There's so much that I could get into that I want to win that so bad for everybody else, because there's nothing like. I'll never forget when we won that game. My rookie year versus Kansas City. We won one game. We were 1-10, and just to sit there and watch everybody celebrate, there was nothing like it. I just sat there and enjoyed it. So that's probably number one.
Hey Derek, you share this market with Colin Kaepernick, and there's only so many jobs available in the NFL anyway. I know you have a little bit of a relationship with Colin.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the fact that he's still sitting out there and doesn't have a job and he's out there?
Yeah, you know, I know this. He's a talented football player, and the times I've talked to Colin, he's a great person. I've enjoyed it. Now, I can't speak for any other teams, organizations, and all that. Obviously, we have quarterbacks, you know, so, you know, he won't come here. But, you know, I wish him the best, and I hope he gets signed. I really do. You know, and, you know, I don't know if he wants to play, if he doesn't, all that stuff. But if he does, I really hope he gets signed, because I feel like as a football player, he can help a football team.
Surprised that he's still out there then?
It was surprising to me, just talent-wise. But, again, that goes not only for Colin. There's a lot of guys out there that are unsigned where you're like, man, I've watched that guy on film. You know, he's pretty good. There must be something else there. So, you know, and thank goodness I don't make those decisions. I just try and complete passes.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
Thank you.